But here we go. Looks like the players are finally ready to start the match. And what do you make of these buys in the first round, Later?
I would say these, well, sponsorless, as this wasn't their map pick, is going to start on CT side first. That is important to note. But the buys themselves seem relatively standard. Freak, Shroud, and Skadoodle each picking up armor to probably be the core fraggers for their team on this round, while Nothing and Sean Garris have the supplementary nades, try to close the gap between their Glocks and the USPs. On the other side of the board, also really standard setup, sponsorless. Surprisingly not as interested in buying nades as I would have thought. They have armor pretty much across the board. The only player without armor is Ely, who does have a kit. But they are clearly assuming that this round is going to be a pretty gritty one, a very close range battle. Not a lot of picking for headshots because they can't afford head armor anyway. But they decided to just take the chest armor rather than the pistol or rather than the supplementary nade. So they're expecting a shootout.
Sean Garris making some noise over here at bomb site B, as the rest of the team is making their way over to A. They have drawn one rotate. That's going to be silent, but he does come back on time for Streb to get one massive headshot onto Freak. But in comes Shroud, taking down Streb, forcing Silent to move in a 1 versus 2 situation. As the rest of his team comes rotating, Nothing gets the headshot onto Silent over at the forklift, and Mainline finally makes his way in, but Skadoodle gets him from dead ahead. Really unbelievable, that fast peek by Skadoodle. He's so quick, especially with pistols. Finishing off the last one on Ely, and great start for Cloud9. 2 kills for Ely, though. He made a valiant effort there towards the end. But, I mean, you can't really complain for Cloud9 there. They played that extremely well, pulling Silent away just in time for that rush over at A.
Yeah, and pretty much everything they attempted that round worked flawlessly. Sean Garris working over towards B, as you said, keeping the players over, not quite allowing sponsorless to figure out where they should be going. And then even basic stuff down to the flashes that got Shroud back over there towards the quad box really opened up the A-bomb site for them. And from there, once you give Cloud9 that kind of traction and grip on the round, positioning advantage, they're not going to drop that. They're not the kind of team to make mistakes like that, at least on this stage.
Here comes the execution. Skadoodle started things off with a headshot with the scout. Sean Garris picking one up, and Skadoodle gets another with his Glock. Mainline and Ely, now the last ones left. They invested a lot of money into this round, but it just did not go well. That was a perfect execution from Cloud9.
Yeah, and it looks like Ely with the scout is going to try to get away. Does get shot down a little bit. Mainline himself trying to stay alive and hold on to what they have. Mainline does have that armor, so that is important to hold on to. I didn't realize that. Yeah, the 5.7 is good. Obviously, $500, some fragability, but really the $1,000 with the head armor, excuse me, the head armor is the more important thing there. But the hunt is on. The players are all coming in, all 5 pretty much. It's actually just Skadoodle sandbags, but
oh man, Ely's gonna go down too. Oh, he gets one at least, but it's just not enough. Wow, Cloud9 just ruthless, hunting down the remaining players of sponsorless. I mean, that definitely hurts. They didn't manage to save anything there, so they're just going to go with some P250s and try their best to maybe do a little bit of damage to Cloud9, but they are on a roll. Skadoodle certainly leading the way. No big surprise there.
Now, $300 for that scout, not really worth it for Ely. He really would have liked to get away with that one. And as such, sponsorless going to be on a pretty big save. Just upgraded pistols, nothing else, and not really even upgraded pistols on everybody, just some select players. So, gonna be honest, it's gonna be tough for them to pull this one out with the firepower this uneven split between the teams. Even when it was more even, Cloud9 seemed to be getting the better of them.
They decided to stack over at A.
Yeah, that's what I was about to point out. That's what I like to see. I like people watching teams try to set up traps on their pistol rounds. I feel like just the standard setup is too risky. It's too easy for their team to definitely come up with a win. So by stacking, yes, you're taking a gamble of some kind like this. You're losing on the gamble. But at least if you had drawn them in, you're giving yourself a higher percentage chance on the round. Not going to work out for them this time.
Yet again to open up the bomb site. And yeah, like you said, sponsorless just left kind of scrambling at this point. They're going to look for exit frags if they can manage to get them. But Cloud9 has a lot of time. They can, they don't have to rush out and get themselves killed. Mainline now going down, reloading. Shroud getting another on Streb. And, wow, Justin doing quite a bit of damage here. You got low health on a lot of these Cloud9 players. If Silent can manage to get a kill or two, it would definitely help them out. He actually let one go by. He's going to take down Skadoodle. That's a good kill. Pick up the scout. And now he's going to watch 4 opponents coming through that Z connector, but Freakazoid's still waiting behind. He's going to easily make it out of there alive. Only one player dropping on Cloud9.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, between the 3 rounds that we've seen, there's only been 5 kills for the sponsorless players. So if they're gonna want to see success down the line, they're gonna have to have slightly more successful eco rounds or some very successful gun rounds, like we're moving into right here. They are rifled up pretty much across the board. Ely actually holding on to FAMAS this round, choosing to definitely strap himself with supplementary grenades, and I'm sure also that that scout buy from earlier probably didn't help the economy. But 1-for-1 trade over there towards A. Strebber not only getting a frag, but getting a lot of information as Mainline finds one as well.
Well, Mainline and Silent just showing no fear. They knew they had to take a big risk to turn things around, rushing into that B main area through that smoke. Completely unexpected. Not even Skadoodle expected it on his second shot. Looked like he was still kind of caught off guard by the massive aggressive push by Silent. And now Sean Gare's left wondering what in the world happened. Left holding the bag. He finally goes down as well. Wow, I mean, bold move by Sponsorless.
Yeah, and it paid off big time. They got the frags they needed. They won the round, obviously, a huge victory there, and they kept 4 players alive. So they're not going to spend too much money on a rebuy here. Yep. Really, Strebber, the only player who really spent any considerable amount of cash on the round. I am, though, curious as to like how many more times that can work. They beat them there by catching them fully off guard with their aggression. Now you know Cloud9 is going to not let themselves put themselves in that position once again, and force Sponsorless to play, I'm sure, a more disciplined game simply by not getting overly aggressive. You can already tell they're sitting really far back, pretty much everywhere. Really, the most aggressive player is Shroud, who went right back over there towards Squeaky.
Yep, he loves to play that lurk spot over there in the Squeaky, and it looks like they are going to be making for A eventually. Although the bomb's still all the way over at B, but yeah, like you said, I mean, Cloud9 is being very careful, and part of the reason for that, I think, is Skadoodle couldn't afford an op this round, so they're looking for a pick on some of their rifling players. Not that Skadoodle can't rifle himself, but certainly it helps to have that op in his hand, be able to get that early frag. Ely defending middle, gonna come up against some assault, I think, eventually, but he backs off over into bomb side A, and it looks like they've rotated. Sponsorless has rotated completely into A. And Cloud9 could be walking into a big trap here, but Freakazoid gets the entry frag. Ely finally turns around. What a spray down! Completely blind. Skadoodle finally trades him out, but Shroud is taking the bomb site. No, Strebber shuts him down. Silent getting Sean Gares, and Justin finishing things off on Skadoodle. Wow, what a great... I mean, another risky play by Sponsorless, but again, it paid off.
Yeah, they had the right idea with the read there. I'm surprised that Cloud9 actually decided to... I guess once they got that pick on mid, they felt confident that they weren't going to be running into a stack, but little did they know that the rotates were all over the place. But really, the unsung hero of that round has to be Ely. Absolutely. On Highway, taking probably a slightly more aggressive peek than I would ever recommend him to take. But while full blind, getting a spray down of 2 lined up Cloud9 members, certainly has to be the MVP of the round. Just huge frags for his team. If Ely went down right there, I'm pretty confident that the cavalry coming up Highway would have just worked their way through the site. But he held strong and just went 2-for-1 himself right there. That's huge.
Yeah, that could have worked out very badly for Sponsorless. Although that rapid rotate might have given them a chance, certainly it helps to have those Highway players taken down. Well, Freakazoid's in a good spot here to peek Strebber and get the surprise kill. He actually, he got that dink, but didn't get the kill. Sean Gares and Shroud able to come around the corner and finish him off, though. And just like that, the bomb site belongs to Cloud9 on this eco round.
Yeah, nothing. It has to stay tucked in that corner as Silent is trying to find him.
Oh, actually a hit there. a hit through the box by Silent on Sean Garris, finishes him off with a second op shot. Ely gets one, but he falls to Nothing, who gets the second kill. Mainline now coming in from behind. He fakes the bomb defusal. Nothing is wise to the scheme, though. Throws out a flashbang. Mainline just taking a little bit of blinding, but man, the discipline by Nothing. Unbelievable play by him. Gets the third kill and an eco round victory for Cloud9. Man, Nothing played that so well.
Yeah, definitely. When he was hopping up over that box, I thought when he didn't see Mainline cheating out over the bomb, I thought Nothing was just going to get a little careless and push, thinking that Mainline was sticking the bomb, but man, these pros can really read these pros, and Nothing happens to be one of the best in the business at getting those one-on-one clutch reads. So we'll come out on top with a series of some nice shooting from him. And as you said, that was an eco round. So that is going to put Cloud9 in a great position score-wise, economy-wise, to really just continue to take more dominating control over this game. Eco is actually going to push Sponsorless on an eco of their own, so they are going to need to regain some traction on this game.
Trying another stack, this time over at B. Actually, they've rotated now Strebber over to A at the last second as the rush finally occurs onto bomb site B. Mainline and Twitch. Oh, Mainline doesn't finish him off, and Freakazoid gets Silent with a headshot on that AK. Strebber does get a kill of his own with that Deagle, and 2 kills on the round. That's not a bad start for Sponsorless, but I'm sure Ely's looking to pick up 1 or 2 more on the exit here.
No, and they're also, luckily for them, in a position where they don't really need a super successful eco round here. They are looking like they are going to be buying up next round pretty much no matter what. They have some pretty wealthy or soon-to-be wealthy enough players where they should be able to make a buy happen. So, yeah, all the frags they can take right now are right. It's going to line their pockets. They can take guns out of the enemy's hand, but at least they're not looking like they're in a position to double save or shouldn't be. And who knows what they're going to end up deciding to do, but they have a fair amount of cash on that team.
Yeah. Freakazoid got a really nice entry frag there, the headshot with that AK, and I'm so glad to see him contributing in such a strong way, albeit this early in the game. Ely, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Ely managed to run into Checkers at the last second there, risking that bomb explosion, and actually picked up an AK-47. He tossed that to Mainline, who I suppose must prefer playing with that over an M4. So that's a great pickup for him. Saves them some money, and Mainline gets to play with the AK. So that was a key play at the end there.
Oh, Justin definitely saw that player in a main. It is Freakazoid. He has to be communicating that. There's actually a lot more Sponsorless players there to support him. The question is, did Justin himself get spotted out?
Yeah, that's a good question, because he's in a great spot here. If Freakazoid doesn't know it's there, but he knows. That slow peak, Justin was a little slow there on the reaction time, and he paid for it. Freakazoid very quick, that AK headshot yet again. But a couple players on Cloud9 are quite low, and whoa, that nade almost taking down Nothing. Mainline finishing him off with the AK-47. Shroud getting a kill over at bomb side A meanwhile, and it's going to come down to Strebber. He gets one. It's Shroud coming out of the squeaky door, but Strebber is trapped. They know exactly where he is. Great positional awareness by Strebber, taking down a very blind Freakazoid, but he falls to Sean Garris, who comes in and gets the trade-out kill. Now down to Silent as he's coming in with the op. He has the health advantage, but there's 2 players up against him, and he's going to have to check an awful lot of spots in very little time if he wants to have enough time to defuse this bomb. Throwing that flashbang out. Silent making his way in. Good chance there's one quad, but he doesn't even get the chance to peek at as Skadoodle finishes him off with his op. Cloud9 picking up the round, but I think just barely, really.
Yeah, they did just barely hold that one out there, but they did a good job of punishing Sponsorless for their really aggressive playstyle, specifically over there towards A. Last time they were really successful, that first gun round when they were pushing both A and B at the same time, that's when they were able to come out on the round. Last round, they chose just to push their aggression towards A. And as I said, like before, Cloud9's only going to fall for that so many times. Right now, there's kind of a dispute on who should be boosting. They still can't quite do it. What's going on? The person they should be boosting is Skadoodle, if you ask me, but I can definitely see how everyone wants to be in the spotlight at the same time. They want all their fraggers out there.
Kind of a moot point at this point, though, as Nothing has already made his way taking control of the Z connector, and he's going to smoke and flash down highway, make a little noise over there, make sure the rotate doesn't come in too early. I think they've correctly called out the A stack at this point, and nothing is just going to be on the lurk here, waiting for the rotate. Ely hopefully going to get a kill or two. Oh, he does get one. Gets another one. Shroud, great headshots. Missed a bunch of shots there, but made up for it eventually with those headshots. Nothing now on the lurk. He's going to catch Mainline completely by surprise, as well as Silent. That was well played by Nothing. A lot of players would have ran out as soon as they heard their opponents run by from the Z connector. But he decided to keep his cool, make sure that all of the players had gone by. Whoa! Lightning fast shot by Skadoodle there. Just peeking and at the blink of an eye, getting that op shot on that peak. That was just insanely fast by Skadoodle. I mean, watching from the other side there, it was...
as soon as a pixel pops
it was
out.
like a flash, and then boom, you're already dead.
And that is the Skadoodle special when he has a scoped weapon in his hands. And as you said before, he's not too shabby of a rifler as well. That's what makes him such an X factor, because you know when he has the op in his hands, he's pretty much unbeatable. And then you give him a rifle and he's just as good as every other pro with it. That is scary. So he is going to be able to hold on to that. Looks like the rest of Cloud9 has a good chunk of change to sit on top of. They are not exactly super rich, but if they can continue to keep a lot of players alive and win these rounds at least as handily as they did last round, I think they're going to be able to just continue to hold on to the control that they've already established. Sponsorless themselves looking to disrupt this on a gun round now coming off of an eco. Silent's going to be pushing through that B-smoke, and Escares is not going to fall. Oh, he didn't fall for it. He was in the right position. He still got out-fragged.
Nothing again with great positioning. He's so smart the way he plays, getting that kill onto Silent to even things out, but being taken down to 10 health in the process. So so the health definitely favoring Sponsorless at this point. Also, mid control belongs to them thanks to a bold move by Ely. Ely has been playing so well this game. Certainly worth mentioning that, and he's now taken complete control of middle for Sponsorless. So they're in a good position on the map here. They have a lot of awareness of where Cloud9 could be going. And at this point, hopefully, they realize that it's going to come down to mainline here at bomb site B if Cloud9 decides to go for the push.
Yeah, and they're looking for frags and opportunities over here in the B bomb site. They actually smoked themselves off B main.
Yeah, that is going to enable them to get a player into checkers if they want to, but I'm not sure if that was an intentional smoke or if they if they missed.
I'd be surprised if it was unintentional. I'm just curious as to what the strategy was behind it. Checkers seems like the right, that's like what you do. You smoke that.
They didn't
so you
move a
cross
player
the
into
checkers.
though. That is a little surprising.
Right. Yeah, or it's not like they had a guy in vents either or anything like that where they could have split on.
10 seconds left, though. They really left this to no time, and now Nothing dying in his own fire. I mean, wow, like the heathen kings of old. Nothing going down in flames. And Sponsorless gets another round. I don't know what happened to Cloud9 there. I think, I gotta say, I think that maybe that smoke was unintentional, and it messed with their strategy on that take or something. I'm not sure what happened there, but they only had 13 seconds left, and suddenly they realized, hey, we still have the bomb to plant, guys.
Yeah, that was pretty odd, as you just described in this round. Cloud9, as I said before, they weren't super rich, but they had an opportunity to really gain some economic control. As such, they are not really going to be still made of money. That op for Skadoodle, it costs a lot. It costs basically 2 AK-47, so that is pretty much what they are rocking. An op on Skadoodle, 2 AK-47s, 1 on Shongares, 1 on Freak. The other players just eco. They do have armor and upgraded pistols. And really, when you put a P250 and a Tech 9 respectively and Nothing in Shroud's hands, it's basically like giving them a rifle.
Well, Skadoodle taking a massive amount of damage from a grenade. Nothing actually, going out there with that P250. It's going to be a difficult site take for them, but here they come. Strebber going to be defending with Justin on this site take from Cloud9. They're taking their time, making sure all their utility nades land exactly where they want them to. Nothing tries to peek with the P250. Gets taken down, but Shroud on the trade-out kill. Freakazoid getting one for himself as well. Now 3-on-3, but Silent is a force to be reckoned with as he moves in from the truck side with that op. Gets a kill and takes the bomb down, but Skadoodle, his own op, answering back. Taking down Ely from on top there. And Oh man, mainline with a great headshot peek on Skadoodle. Can't believe Skadoodle managed to be taken down that way, but Sean Gers jumps down. Unbelievable. They had no idea he was up there. I don't know how Sean Gers got up there, but completely catching the 2 remaining players of Sponsorless by surprise. Great clutch from him.
Oh man, the only thing more upsetting than allowing Sean Gers to do that to you was the fact that he hit that second headshot while in midair on a pretty far fall with an AK-47. That, as a Counter-Strike fan, that hurts me to watch, but as a Sean Gers fan, that was really awesome. Really good play there. I wasn't sure if he was aware of Mainline's positioning in the site. I thought Mainline could have caught him out, but no, he was super aware. So much so that he was able to chain together the frags so quickly to pick up that round for his team. A great round win for Cloud9, now forcing Sponsorless on another eco.
Yeah, Sponsorless has been ecoing more rounds than not so far this game. And as you can see, Cloud9 themselves don't have a lot of money either. 2 players going out with SMGs this round, but doesn't even matter, as Justin, so far, the only player to get a kill for himself. They know exactly where he is now, so...
See if he can peek out and catch this frag on Shroud. Unfortunately, aiming just a bit too high. It's not the kind of engagement Shroud is going to lose, and with that, Cloud9 extending their lead now to 9-2-3 with Sponsorless.
Yeah.
Not only are they on a gun round, but it's about time that they start winning some gun rounds.
I mean, yeah, this is the thing. If you look at the kill lines for the 2 teams, it doesn't look like a 9-3 game. Like, if you cover the top of your screen with your hand there and hit tab, I mean, it looks like a relatively even game. You got 9 kills on a few players on Sponsorless, and Cloud9 only with 9 to 11 kills on their players. So these rounds are quite close. It's just Sponsorless can't close them out.
Yeah, and they actually even at some point, whoa, Skadoodle getting taken down by the rifle of Ely. Just
Ely barely even slowed down there. He just peeked out and fired away.
That's the beauty of the Silence M4. Basically shoots like a laser. If you know where to look at the right time and you just have quick enough reflexes, you too can beat the quickest AWPer in North America. The gun just shoots nearly in a perfectly straight line, pretty much no matter what you are doing or what you do to the gun.
I mean, it helps if you're Ely and you're probably...
And you're nuts, yeah.
Yeah, one of the certainly top 1 or 2% riflers in North America, I would put him at, definitely. So, but a great start to the round for Ely and Sponsorless. This could be the round where they finally turn around on a rifle round. They've had a lot of trouble so far.
Yeah,
and again, Cloud9.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but Silence pushing all the way through B, and he's going to catch the bomb out. I knew that was going to work out for him. Now it's going to be up to Sean Gers pushing through a smoke. And nothing coming through the vents, but only nothing is successful of the duo.
Wow, nothing. Getting another frag, though, onto Ely. He's going to now be entering the site, and Mainline needs to stay alive for his teammates to rotate in. They have the man advantage here. Finally, Scrubber comes in, backs him up with the kill onto Shroud. That was absolutely key. And now Mainline playing it so smart. Staying around the corner, undercover. Finally peeking when he's ready to, when his teammates are distracting nothing a little bit, and landing the kill. So there you go, 9-4, the score here, and Sponsorless is keeping this competitive. Even on the rounds they lose, they're doing so well at keeping the money situation on Cloud9 from getting out of control that now Cloud9 is back onto an eco round. Yeah,
they are back on an eco round, and really, if you've seen Cloud9 play in the past, they like to force buy a lot. So the fact that they're actually just going for a full save here, at least to me, is...
Well, they got head armor on 3 of their guys. So,
that's true. So yeah, I guess it wouldn't be a Cloud9
little bit of an
game
investment,
if they weren't.
Certainly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, investing. But the thing about Cloud9 is when you have a roster this strong and players this good, you can totally win a round with a $6,500 investment. Like, yeah, like I wouldn't, I wouldn't say this round has high odds, but it has significantly higher odds when the guns are in Cloud9's hand than pretty much any other team.
A lot of it's going to come down to if they manage to spawn out Justin, who's waiting up on top of those boxes in the bomb site. Here comes the push, and they're ready for it, but he outshoots both Sean Gers and Freakazoid. They both look right up directly at him as if they knew he was there, but he got the better of them nonetheless. Now, the bomb did actually get planted here, and that is at least a decent consolation prize for Cloud9. Their money situation is not good going into this last round. But now, due to that bomb plant, they are going to be able to make a full buy here. Had they not gotten that, I don't think they would have even been able to afford an off for Skadoodle. So that was actually a really key consolation there, getting that bomb plant.
Yeah, would have been cutting it pretty close. Good thing about this game is that $3,700 and you too can have a chest, head armor, and an AK-47. That is basically a full buy right there. Yeah, you want the secondary nades to back you up in a sight, but the key ingredient there is the AK-47 and the armor. So yeah, the bomb plants mean a lot. Ely actually team flashed a little bit here as he's pinned in the sandbags area, and he will get punished. Freakazoid finding an entry frag in the middle of the map, kind of just what we wanted to see from Freakazoid.
Yeah, big yellow blob coming out on my radar. Cloud9 just bullies their way really into middle, taking down Ely, but Streb does get one kill for himself as well. Now they know exactly where Cloud9 is, but Cloud9 has a lot of options here. Shroud opening one kill up, and they're going to make a move onto bomb site A. It's going to be down to Strebber. He gets it bombed down with a kill onto Sean Gers. Sean Gers, of course, loves going up there. Whoa, Silent getting one for himself with that op. Strebber getting yet another. Strebber with 3 kills this round. He actually got that early kill on the middle, and now he's doing his best to defend the bomb site, getting a 4th as well. Wow, what a round for Strebber. And you know what? 9-6?
Yeah.
I think that's a half-decent round, half for sponsorless.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I feel like they, 8-7 would have been a little better for them moving into the terrorist side of this map. I really feel as though Cloud9 is going to be particularly locked down with their defense. They just have such sick shooters on their team. I can't imagine sponsorless can really break them on terrorist side of the map. I mean, I'm willing to be impressed. I want to be impressed by sponsorless. Yeah. So we'll see how it works out for them. But by stringing together the last 3 rounds of the half, that is huge for their momentum, their morale. I was pretty confident that Cloud9 would have been in a good position to just continue to win out. Maybe not win all 3 of the rounds, but just put the pressure on sponsorless. But the fact that we're able to take what otherwise would have been a really poor half and pull it out at the last second, now moving into the pistol round, pretty important. Sometimes that momentum can carry over into the second half, and let's see if it does for them. A lot
Amazingly,
of armor coming out.
Yeah. Armor, well, I mean, you do have some utility nades coming out on each side as well, so that's good to see as well.
3.
Yeah, 3 armor coming out on Cloud9, so they're gonna have to rely on getting those nice headshots here. As the push comes in, and Shroud, Freak of the Devil, starts things off with 3 huge P2000 headshots. Nothing in Freakazoid cleaning up the rest, but man, Shroud, are you kidding me? That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, they were setting themselves up to have to get those headshots, and well, luckily, the headshot machine was right there. Shroud keeping it together. So hard to stay composed there, and so gutsy to stick it out and trust your individual skill enough in the game to just kind of go down with the ship there. I feel like a lot of people maybe would have gotten that first frag and would have just ran out of there, just ran back to site, either to continue to frag or get shot in the back. But the fact that he stood there, stood his ground, and looked to fight it out, worked out for them big time.
Yeah, bold move, certainly, and it worked out, like you said. But Shroud now completely blind as Justin gets the kill, and they take control of the bomb site. Skadoodle is now pushing him with that scout. He's not in an ideal position here, unless somebody on sponsors does decide to peek him. So far, staying undercover, all the members of that team not allowing him an easy target. Freakazoid gonna throw out a flash. He's running in with this MP7, but Ely peeks, gets him surprised, but Freakazoid gets the kill anyway on Ely. Takes a massive amount of damage, though, and now 3-on-3 on this retake. Skadoodle finally pushes in, forgets about his scout, and moves in with the USP, but Mainline and Justin get to Mainline with that 3rd and unbelievable on an eco round. Sponsorless turns things around. Yeah,
really, really great play for Mainline right there as Strebber. Pretty upset with how he got flashed right there, but Mainline just did such a good job of staying hidden in the site, never forcing an engagement for himself. I think all 3 of his frags were against players that weren't quite looking at him or couldn't quite locate him, so good movement positioning from him right there, and that eco round is huge for sponsorless. That is going to potentially vault them right back into this game if they can string together some rounds.
they could probably bring it to 10-8, maybe 10-9 even, based on that one round win. And starting things off with a kill is Silent over at bomb site B, making a lot of noise over there, but it is not indeed a fake as the rest of his team joins him from checkers. Silent finally finishes off Freakazoid, and the rest of Cloud9 has a decision to make now. Do you go in and try to get some weapons? Looks like they're not going to try for the retake, so they're just going to go for exit frags here, try to pick up a gun or two if they can.
Yeah, they do have, I mean, $800 between all three of the players is not really the kind of money you're trying to save with. I think the decision to go for the exits here is more so because if you just try to push up on the site, the players coming out will just have such an easy advantage killing you. So if you're going to go for exits, it's a good idea to go for exits really far away. So you know the team is going to hunt. They had a pretty open site, and even though you don't really have anything to give them, you know, just some P250s, not even armor or anything, nothing you're really particularly interested in saving, it's easier to draw them out and force the engagements away from the bomb site. So it kind of successful there. I think they did get one frag.
They only got one, and that actually kind of hurts for Cloud9 because now they know that they're up against a fully armored, fully armed opponent, and deciding to go for yet another save. So that eco round win from Sponsorless might actually get them to within one for the first time this game. They're bringing themselves close to a tie here, which is really amazing. Sponsorless doing way better than I think than most people imagine. And remember, folks, this was Cloud9's map pick. So when we got onto the second map, things could even turn around even more in Sponsorless' favor.
Yeah, now Shroud boosting the site. We're looking for a headshot, but Silent's actually going to find Freakazoid on the other side of the map.
Silent has been doing a good job of peeking at the exact right moment. He seems to know exactly when his opponent might be peeking him. He rushes through smoke. He plays a lot of bold moves. And whoa, Shroud! I don't know what Justin was looking at there, but he wasn't looking at Shroud. And Shroud able to get the kill with that deagle. That's a good start to the round there, but the bomb site at B now belongs to Sponsorless. Cloud9 banked on an A push, and Sponsorless was wise to that, did decide to go to B, and now Cloud9 again outside the bomb site trying to just end off the round relatively well. But again, Silent so quick when he comes around that corner. Good map awareness from him, and really understands the psychology of his opponents, I think. Shroud now the last member of Cloud9. He's got an AK-47. I think if you're Sponsorless right now, oh yes, here they come. They are going hunting. Send out the dogs. You are not going to let Shroud keep that AK. And oh my goodness. With the Galil through the door against an unarmored opponent, those door wall bangs can be so strong.
Yeah, that door is like paper thin in this game. It's hard to tell on those doors that don't really break how much spam damage gets done, because you can never really see the opponent during the spam. You never know how much you got in on them, but you see a lot of spam kills through that door. Just really great awareness from the Sponsorless players there, and also good communication. I mean, they knew they had him pinched in there. They had guys looking at Squeaky right before he got pushed back towards the door. So not only were they able to properly communicate an effective way to win the round, but they also did it in the cleanest way possible. Never even had to see him.
Silent now taking a big amount of damage there, brought to 16 HP at the start of the round. He likes to play these aggressive, yeah. 3 players on Cloud9 have taken control of mid. If anyone from Sponsorless tries to go out there, it's Mainline. Oh my god! Trevor and Mainline getting the 2 kills at middle, pushing Shroud back, but he answers with a kill of his own. He's very low health though, as Justin comes around the corner and finishes him off. Now 4 on 2. One person defending each bomb site. It's going to be Skadoodle at B, and it looks like that's where Sponsorless is making their way towards. I cannot believe how they managed to get those kills. Mainline rushing through the smoke, and Strebber getting one for himself as well at middle. I mean, it's like they knew Cloud9 played aggressively. Clearly, they've been doing their homework.
Yeah, and it's easy to give Mainline a lot of the credit because he was the one who was doing the shooting, and he did a fantastic job at it, but the real MVP is whoever threw that flash. That flash caught all 3 of the players. I mean, you had Freakazoid right under the boost, ready to catch some players. Nothing boosted onto the garage door, a spot that I don't even know who checks that. And then you had Shroud over a white box, all 3 getting hit by, I think, the same individual flashbang. And it was a long enough blind on all 3 of them for the take to come out. So good on pretty much everyone involved there. As they could potentially teammates with this kill on Skadoodle, but it looks like that still could be an option. He's actually gonna get bullied out of the... Whoa, what are you guys looking at?
They know where he is, but they just can't take him down. Finally, he falls, but not before getting the kill on Ely. Frankly, that is a win for Sponsorless nonetheless. They have so much money on their side, and Cloud9 needed that op on Skadoodle. Now they are back onto an eco. And look at how things have turned around. Sponsorless now in a great position to take the lead on Cloud9. I mean, this game started off with Cloud9 showing no mercy, hunting down Sponsorless when they were on the CT side, refusing to allow them to even keep a gun at the end of the round. And look at this. Now Sponsorless doing the exact same when they're on T side.
Yeah, and I said at halftime that I didn't think that Sponsorless was going to have this cohesive of a T side, but they're actually bullying Cloud9. Their timings have been impeccable. They've been working really well off of each other. They just have such great awareness. They seem to know what the Cloud9 players are going to do before the Cloud9 players know what they're going to do.
Yeah, Mainline has really turned it up these last few rounds, but everyone on Sponsorless is just going absolutely ham. Like, it's hard to even pick out a player who's playing harder than all the rest, because it seems like every round it's somebody new who just steps in and saves the day for Sponsorless. Well, I say saves the day, but really they're never even in trouble in these rounds. They're just bullying their way around, like you just said. Oh, Sean Garrett's taking a shot at Skadoodle's head there. Skadoodle
just to keep Skadoodle on his toes.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of
little radar check right there.
Coming out. Yeah. Going for some exit frags yet again is Cloud9, finding themselves in this position time and time again. But I mean, they got to be able to save one of these guns at the very least to call this a remotely successful round. Strebber getting Skadoodle and the other one falling to the bomb. I mean, that hurts a lot. Look at this money situation. Mainline is at the maximum. He's at 16K, and Silent is approaching that as well. These guys on Sponsorless are balling.
Yeah, they are totally balling. And I'm surprised he isn't... I mean, I guess there's really not much you could even spend money on. No one died that last round, so Mainline couldn't even drop a teammate. He has nothing... He has no other option but to force himself to max out next round. I was thinking that they may want to have... Oh, Skadoodle uncharacteristically missing an off shot. Looks like this A-take might happen pretty quickly. I thought Mainline might play an off for someone, but they chose not to. Let's see if Skadoodle...
Oh, so blind! Unbelievable! Ely getting one. Silent taking down another. Nothing fighting his hardest. He gets one kill, but Freakazoid taking down one of his own as well. Freakazoid now to 2 health, though, as the bomb gets planted. The splashes come out, the smoke is out, but Freakazoid catching Strebber completely by surprise. Evens things out, now 2-on-2, but Justin finally taking down Freakazoid, who somehow managed to survive with only 2 HP for a very long time. Sean Gares, though, the last player left on Cloud9. He has to turn things around for his team. All the momentum is on Sponsorless' side here. Justin is too quick for him as he peaks at the same time as Mainline. Great team effort there, and man, I mean... So it looked like they played just Skadoodle there, and they were really counting on him to land his shots and anchor bomb site A.
He just couldn't. Interestingly enough, we're seeing Freakazoid buy up and op for Skadoodle. They are going to be making a buy happen on this round. Makes sense. They had enough money to do it. As you said, they put so much, like just all their eggs in the Skadoodle basket. They're looking to get a pick. And when he didn't, the Sponsorless guys did a really good job of executing around that. I knew once he had
no!
Oh, man.
Lack of communication there as Ely caught in the smoke by his teammates. I mean,
to be fair to Mainline, actually Strebber was shooting at Ely as well. It seemed like it was just general confusion.
It was a team effort, and that just turned into a disaster. It was a complete rout there at mid as they were spraying everywhere but where Cloud9 was. And Cloud9 easily picking up that round, finally getting one to their credit. I mean, that was 6 rounds in a row we just saw from Sponsorless. What an impressive run, but can Cloud9 finally turn things around?
Yeah, I think if any team has the ability to maintain their composure and turn things around, it will be Cloud9, but because they did win that round, they've effectively removed all bonus money that they were receiving, so there is a lot on the line this time. If they lose this round, I mean, Sponsorless would be in a great position to potentially even use that to win out. But you know, we gotta see how this actually works out first. There are still rifles in the Cloud9 members' hands, and When they have firepower, you can never count them out of a round, even if they were at a man disadvantage. But it is still 5-on-5. These two teams kind of feeling each other out in the early goings of this round.
Yeah, Sponsorless being uncharacteristically slow here as Justin pays off on that strategy with a kill onto Nothing. Nothing jumping down from the from the vents. They're trying to surprise him, but look at this fire, completely gonna kill Skadoodle. Skadoodle, I don't know if he didn't realize he was sitting in the fire, scoped in, intensely focused, trying to get that kill, but waited just way too long, and down he went. And just like that, 5-on-2 now, and Sean Gares and Freakazoid going to be forced to save. And this isn't what Sean Gares saving a FAMAS is not really an ideal situation.
No, and
they're using their utility grenades so phenomenally.
Yeah, Sponsorless seems super well prepared. It looks like they have a take for nearly every situation. Their mid take looked crisp. Their ability to work their way into the A and B bomb site has been relatively effortless. I can't really think of a time where, I mean, even on their round losses, they weren't rounds where Cloud9 kind of blendered them, as they were very close goes. Yeah, the rounds that have gotten worked down into some clutch situations, like I guess we saw Sean Gares jumping off the he did that as a terrorist, actually. That was the last half. That was so cool though.
Yeah, last half Cloud9 was doing pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
the really turned here.
Yeah, it's so much so that I was struggling to come up with a Cloud9 highlight in my head, and the best one I could pull from wasn't even from this half.
Yeah, really, Cloud9 now onto another eco, and this should be a relatively easy win for Sponsorless. That puts them only 2 away from winning this first map. Silent getting a off kill onto Freakazoid at the other side of the map as Sean Gares completely blind goes down. Nothing through the smoke, though, working his way in, showing that great map awareness that we've all come to love in Nothing. He's a fantastic lurker, and that kill that he managed to get there was a really good one. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, kills at this point not going to help too much. He does manage to pick up the AK. They're not going to be able to win this round. So again, they're just going to try to get a kill or two on the exit from Sponsorless. But Sponsorless, when they've been, I mean, after they know they've already won the round and they're just hunting Cloud9, I mean, it feels like they're at their absolute best at that point. They're just coming around corners and, I mean, with reckless abandon, out shooting Cloud9 at every turn. It looks like this time they're going to be a little more careful, though. They do know that Nothing and Skadoodle are a force to be reckoned with. They don't want to lose this round this close to the end.
Yeah, and they're actually all going to be exiting. Well, I thought they were all going to go CT, but it looks like they're actually splitting up a little bit. Mainline, who I guess slump is a bit of a harsh term, but had a slow start in the beginning of this game, has really come into his own on the terrorist side of it. Has been a huge impact fragger for his team, and continuing to look for the frags. He actually finds Skadoodle, but is unable to get the kill, and Skadoodle doesn't have enough time to grab that AK, so at the very least, Skadoodle is going to get a bonus $300 in his back pocket and escape with his life. That
definitely helps, but they can't afford an op over there on Cloud9's side, and that is a huge difference maker when you have the best opper in North America, and you just can't manage to buy him an op because you keep losing rounds. I mean, that definitely hurts, especially when you're on CT side. I feel like an op on Skadoodle on CT side is just, I mean, it's something you don't want to be up against, really, but they haven't been able to use that, really.
Yeah, and even on the CT side, Skadoodle's been able to get frags, but they haven't been super impactful frags like they were on his own terrorist side. So, I mean, I wouldn't, you can never tell Skadoodle not to pick up an op, but I don't mind him having a rifle, and he's already going to town with it.
Yeah, Skadoodle getting 2 kills with his M4 that round. Nothing picking up 1 at mid as well. Healy now the last player. He'll fall. And Cloud9, very decisive victory in that round, and they needed that. They needed that for morale, if anything, but also they managed to pick up that op. It's now going to go to Skadoodle, and they have a good shot at closing out this map, which is a lot closer and a lot, I think, more Sponsorless-sided than people assumed. Certainly going in.
People is in itself an understatement. I think everybody assumed that. I mean, I guess people still had some concerns about the Cloud9 lineup and their ability to mesh as a unit, and Freakazoid, who's kind of coming back to the scene right now, obviously has tons of experience in the background, how he would frag. I don't think you can pin any of this on like one specific instance. Seems like they're just getting worked all over the place. And Skadoodle getting gunned down on quad.
What a spray down by Silent, but Justin falling to a grenade is going to even things out. 3-on-3 now. Silent has that op in hand. They managed to pick up from Skadoodle. But this rotation came in so fast that the bomb hasn't even been planted yet. Finally goes down as that smoke provides a little bit of cover, but Ely is going to fall to Sean Gares and his headshot. Strebber answers back with a headshot of his own. Through the smoke, gets nothing, and now one-on-one, Silent against Sean Gares. This is a hugely important round, folks. The flashbang's coming out everywhere. Sean Gares knows where Silent is, and he is creeping his way in. Silent gets caught walking through the smoke. Is there time to defuse the bomb? Yes, I think there is. Sean Gares with the clutch on a 4-kill.
Oh, yeah, totally. Easily he gets the defuse in. I do have my volume pretty low because those AK sounds do get really loud. And the fact that he kind of instantly turned away like he didn't have it kind of sold me on it as well. It would have been really upsetting if he kind of, did that half turn and then just decided to run. Then realized he ran too far away, that by the time he gets back, he just barely ran out of time. That is probably the worst feeling Counter-Strike can give someone.
I'm not crazy about the way Silent played that. I feel like you have the bomb planted, you want to stall for time as much as possible, and certainly you don't want to pull something risky like walking through a smoke. I mean, his vision was obscured, and he had to know that if Sean Gares was on the other side, he wasn't going to miss. Skadoodle, though, missing at the start of this round, and Silent finishes the job, gets the kill. Nothing has been forced out by a fire, but he manages to get a kill before going down. A kill in 3/4, really, as Strebber brought to very low health. But these nades and Molotovs doing their jobs, forcing Cloud9's players out. Strebber getting another kill at middle. Strebber is on fire. And Mainline take control of bomb site B. You're right, A is wide open, but it doesn't even matter at this point. Shroud now the last player left on Cloud9. Looks like sponsorless, unless Shroud can pull off a miracle here, is going to win their 15th round of the map, forcing at least overtime, unless Shroud can move in and get the kills. No, he can't. Silent finishes off the round. And 15-13, sponsorless is one round away from winning this map.
Yeah, with I saw that we're all grouped up in checkers, and with the A bomb site open, I was considering, or at least to myself, an option for sponsorless would be to boost back up in vents and kind of sell a really good fake. We saw Cloud9 hitting sponsorless with a pretty good fake on their own terrorist side. We haven't really seen sponsorless reciprocate, maybe because they haven't really needed to. They've been kind of squatting up, taking things as a unit and coming out on top of it, so there's no need to throw a fake, but they are right now in a position where Cloud9 is bought up all the way, and they are not super rich. This is a really winnable round for sponsorless and a really winnable map, which is crazy to say.
The aggressive push almost pays off, but Freakazoid pushing too aggressively. Strebber catches him as he was still playing on top of that mid boost spot. Now, sponsorless has every advantage here. They have the map positional advantage, they have the gun advantage, and they have the man advantage. But you do have a flank here coming out from nothing. Can he catch them? No, he's going to be too slow because Sean Gares is already falling at B. Nothing actually goes down to Streb, who turns around and gets the kill, and just like that, sponsorless is going to win the game. Shroud9 pushing in through the flashbang, but he goes down. I mean, this is an amazing underdog victory if sponsorless can pull off the second map. I mean, remember, this is Cloud9's map pick. We are now going into Overpass, which is sponsorless's map pick. So they are very comfortable on this map. This is the map that they won CEVO Season 6 main on just a short time ago, about a month and a half ago. So, I mean, they're comfortable on this map. They're well practiced on it. But you have Cloud9 with Skadoodle and his op that's so strong on CT side on this map. You can hold down A essentially by yourself. You can rotate very quickly to that heaven spot and cover B if you need to. So I can see him making a huge difference. And frankly, I could see Cloud9 really turning it up here because they know they're now playing for the tie. And that makes a big difference in this league. A tie is going to get you 1 point. A win gets you 2. But there have been so many ties already that ties are that much more important to play for because everybody else is getting them. So just to stay competitive, you got to get ties. I mean, there's been more ties in this league so far this season than there was in my bedroom the week after my wife read 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, I don't even know how to proceed after that. I think my move is just going to be to move past it as fast as possible. I'm hoping after your wife read 50 Shades of Grey, she took you over to Brooks Brothers and bought you just a bunch of neckties.
That's right. That's what. That's exactly
cool,
what I was
perfect.
talking
Good.
about.
I'm glad I read the
She then
the metaphor properly.
She then tied me up with the neckties and we copulated.
Okay, good. I'm glad we finally drove that home.
Okay.